Thanks for joining us for a summary of our report on the BC government's process for creating forecasts for its annual budget and fiscal plan. This is the second report we've issued based on our examination of the BC government's budgeting process. Our first report, released in June 2015, focused on government's 2014-15 three-year revenue forecasts and the process used to create them. The Ministry of Finance has since addressed our three recommendations, which we made to improve the clarity and transparency of future budgets. This report centers on government's approach to forecasting operating expense, capital spending, and debt for the 2015-16 three-year budget and fiscal plan. Our goal was to determine four main things. First, if the assumptions underlying the forecasts were well supported and provided a reasonable basis for the forecast. Second, if the forecasts reflected these assumptions. Third, if the presentation and disclosure of the budget and fiscal plan met Canadian accounting standards for future-oriented financial information. And finally, if it met the requirements of relevant provincial legislation. We concluded that government's forecasting processes to estimate operating expense, capital spending, and debt met our four expectations. Preparing the provincial budget is a complex endeavor that involves consolidating budget information from over 150 government entities. Legislation adds further complexity. It prohibits government from forecasting a deficit and sets consequences if financial results do not meet the legislation's requirements. This means that government must develop forecasts that are flexible enough to accommodate unexpected expenses or revenue shortfalls. Between our two reports now, we've examined all the main components of government's budgeting process. While we've made recommendations for improvement, government is generally doing a good job preparing and reporting the budget forecasts, and the overall budget process was sound for the 2 years that we looked at. With an eye to continuous improvement, there are two areas where government could further improve the clarity and transparency of budget information. First, government presented debt balances in the main body of the budget and fiscal plan differently than it did in the summary financial statements. Consistency in reporting between these two documents is important so that readers can compare government's planned versus actual financial performance. Our second recommendation is that the Ministry of Finance enhance disclosure of the key assumptions supporting significant changes in projected caseload trends for statutory programs. Let's break that recommendation down so we can better understand it. In our examination, we noted an 18% drop over 3 years in the estimated annual caseloads for the Ministry of Social Development and Social Innovation's Temporary Assistance Program. This program provides temporary income assistance for eligible individuals or families. To be eligible, recipients have to meet legislated requirements. Therefore, government has limited control over the number of people eligible. There is no explanation of how or why government forecasts this change in caseload. Such an explanation would allow readers to better understand the reasons and risks around the changes. Budgets are always a best estimate, regardless of the quality of information or the process used to create them. This is just as true for the provincial government as it is for the finances of a business or a household. Actual results will always vary. It's important in all cases to control one's finances as much as possible by keeping an eye on how well results compare to the budget, and if they differ, understanding why. That's our summary for today. Thanks for joining us, and to read this report and others, or for more information about our office, please visit our website at www.bcauditor.com.